Okay, we'll start with this. I think in last lecture we have in some introduction about the shell programming, and I think uh, we run some commands on terminal. Right? So today we'll just try to write the small script. Uh, I think this already we have seen what is shell and something. So shell is a program that takes command typed by the user and call the operating system to run those commands, right? So what we do in the shell, we combine the commands and we can execute all these combined commands. So that is the main thing into this. So the rest thing I think we have seen. And the some basic commands, if you see, so there are many basic commands are there related to files and folder. But today we'll see how to write these commands in any editor. Okay. So first we'll see these are the some commands that we know very well related to file and directory. So how to create file, how to display. I think we have seen in last lecture, right? How to create directory, how to remove directory, change directory, something, right? So we'll see the two commands in shell, how to take input from the user and how to display that whatever you want to display on the screen. If you see that in Python programming, we are using the print statement to display something on the screen. And we use that input function to take input from the user that we have seen in the Python programming. And in C programming, scanf is the function that is used to take input and printf is the function that is to display something on the screen, right? So these are the input output commands, or we can say they're the functions. Now here, as we know, so every statement is a command in the shell programming. So echo is a statement, or echo is a command that is used to display something on the screen. And that read is a command that is used to read something from the user. If you see here, I'll show you something. Just open that terminal over here. Right. Okay. So if you see echo, so if you see this, so this will be displayed over here, right? You can see here. So whatever we have written into this double quote, this is a syntax for this echo. So echo, then provide the space, and in double or single quote, you can write that string, whatever the string you want to display. So that string you need to put into this double quote or single quote so that that string will be displayed on the screen. One more example I have just taken over here. You can see here in this PPT also, uh, we can take the name of the person, right, from the user, and we can display that name of the person. Now see here that this example we'll see afterward, because we are using here the variable, because that name is a variable that is used to store the name of that person, right? And whatever is this screenshot, if you are using this kind of command, so in that case we can first need to change that mode of that file. Already I have told in last lecture, because when we create that file, so that file is not having the execution permission, right? So to get that permission, we need to change that mode, right? So using this command we can change, or directly we can write that bash and that file name. So as I am just using here simply bash and that file name, so this will again execute that the respective script, right? So here or again you can see here, suppose you want to read name, right? So this will wait for that the name, like suppose this name I am entering. So whatever the name I have just entered here, that is Harish. that is been stored into this the name variable, right? And how do I print this name? So using echo, I can print this, like suppose I'm using this key to print or to access that variable, I need to use that dollar name. You can see here. So whatever is this variable, if you want to access that value stored into that variable, I need to use this dollar sign before this variable name. And then we can retrieve that value and we can store that value. Getting my the point? So that same thing I have just shown here. Only I have just written that into a file, or we can create that file also here. If you see here, I think this is a folder. First, I'll just clear this. You can see this is a folder. I'll change this folder. Sorry. Now you can see there's some files. Again, I have folder shells. Okay, right. So I'll just create one file over here, that is sample.sh, and I can see I can write the same script here. Echo enter your name, like, and I can use this read command, that is to read the whatever I'm just entering through the keyboard, so that I can read over here. Oh, this is a variable that is name, and whatever I'm just entering through this keyboard, so that will be stored into this name, right? And if I want to display that, so I need to use the dollar sign and that name, and I'll just save this and execute this. You can see the same thing, whatever I had written the previously on this command prompt, that same thing is here. Suppose I am just giving it another name, that is a Vihan, and this will be, you can see, displayed. Or you can see something like here, enter name is this one. You can see here, enter name is Vihan. So whatever the name I have just entered here, so that has been displayed. So here one thing you just understand in these two commands, uh, this echo that is used to print something on the keyboard, screen, that read, that is used to read something from the keyboard, and to access that the variable, we need to use the dollar sign over here. You can see here, so dollar name I have written over here. Getting this? So these are the important commands, because with these commands we can display and accept something from the user end to the screen. Right now, we'll see something about the variables. I think you have this idea about the variables, how to use the variables. So I have just given some examples of valid variables and invalid variables, right? So valid variables are these are the examples. I can use simply a string, or before string, or in between string, we can use that underscore sign, right? These are the variables. And invalid is what? So we cannot start with this number or something, that dash we cannot put inside this, or this sign also we cannot put, right? So I think you have idea about the variables. You have used these variables in Python and in C programming, or in other programmings also, right? So I'll not go in detail about this, but main thing you need to understand the how to use the variables, right? So if you want to see the syntax, that syntax is here. Like if you consider that C programming, so we need to declare that variable first. So with the type, suppose you want to access any string value, so you need to put that character array. If you want to accept any integer value, so you need to declare that as an integer. So that case is there in C programming or in Java or something. But if you consider the shell script or also in Python programming, so not necessary to declare the type of that variable. So when we just enter that value, so automatically that variable will consider that value. if you are suppose using variable like the a, this is like is a variable. So this a before assigning this 10, so this variable will be ready for any value like integer value, character value, or string or float value, any value, right? Simply you need to declare like this. So if you want to see here again, I'll just you can see a, right? You can see 10, right? Or if you say a, right, and you can see, right? So it means not necessary to provide any kind of the type before this variable. So simply you can use that variable, right? Also, if you want to use the read only something, because see, if you consider this example, here first I have uh, used that a, and I have just assigned that value 10 to this. And second time for the same variable, I have just assigned that value that is a string. It means I updated this value with this. So 10 with Harish, this has been updated. So it means we can update the value in this variable. But if you consider this variable as a read-only variable, then in that case we cannot. If you see, uh, that example again, I'll just tell you. And also I just told you how to access the variable. So using this dollar sign, we can access the variable. We have seen this example. This should be small e. Okay. We can access that variable using the dollar sign. So variable can be accessed using this dollar sign. So this is already I have explained this one, right? Now we'll see for the read only. As I said in this previous example, this a I have just updated with this that 10 I have updated with this string that is Harish. If suppose I am using read only variable like read only a, right? 1 minute. I'll just, a equals to suppose 10 and read only a, and suppose a equals to Harish. I think I don't know whether it is visible or not. Right, right. This one. So what it is saying, you can see here. If you are able to see this, read only variable. A is a read only variable. You cannot update in this case. This one. See this. Initially, I have just assigned that 10 value to A, and I have declared that A is a read-only variable. In this case, this string will not be not updated with this string, but in previous case, this has been updated. Or I'll just take the same example here with this. Sorry, I think I just okay. Anyway, suppose A equals to 10, and I'm just saying this A is a read-only variable, right? And suppose equals to yes. So Harish, so if I'm just suppose printing this, so what it will say that we'll see here. You can see. Sorry, I have just accepted. Oh, sorry. That was my mistake. I've created that different file over here, and this is running the previous file. Okay, I'll just open the go this old file. Right now here, a equals to 10, read only a, and if I am assigning something to this, echo this, I'll say we save, and you can see the a is a read only variable because it is displaying that 10 value because it is not updating this. If you see the script, for a equals to 10 that we have assigned, now we declare that as a read only variable, and now I am trying to assign this string to this a, but as it is a read only variable, so we can't assign. So whatever is the output, that is the original output, that is the 10. But if you consider this as a normal variable, then you can see here, you can see, so that output is Harish, right? So it means, so we can, in the shell script, we can use normal variable as well as read only variable. If you want to keep that as a read only variable, if you don't want to update that variable values, then in that case you can use read only, right? Getting this? So what we'll do, we'll see some examples here of, I think you understood this, but see, in coming week we need to do the programming assignment. So that assignment is in the coming week. You just try to write a shell script for the different types of commands. What are the commands you have in your hand? So for these commands, you just try to write a shell script. So this is the lab assignment for the coming week. Okay. So one or two example, I'll just tell you how to write the shell script. See, sorry. I think in last lecture I just told you the script for the commands which are not taking any input from the user. But now today we'll see how to take that input from the user as well, right? So if you see here, one best the example I'll just tell you before just going to this. I'll show you here. You can see in this. First, I'll just remove this. See, here that sample.sh, that is file we have, and these three files in this folder. Now what we'll try to do, we'll try to create a folder with shell script, and also we'll try to create a file with shell script. Getting my point? Because the in last lecture we have seen simple commands like pwd, ls and something with the shell script. But now today we'll see how to accept the name of the folder from the user, and with respect to that name how to create the file, and same thing for the folder, how to accept that name from the name of that folder from the user, and how to create that folder on this, right? So first we'll see how to create that file over here. Only you just understand here these are the files. Okay, now we'll just try to create one file over here. uh See, you can say enter file name which you want to create, right? This one. So it means what, you are accepting that name of the file from the user, and we are creating that file into this folder, whatever the current folder is there. So there we are creating that file, right? So how do I create? First, I need to accept that suppose file name, right? That we are accepting from the user, and simply you can say equal, and if you say sorry over here mkdir, this sorry touch, because we use this touch command to create this. And if you write this file name, this is a variable name. Okay, and if I save this, you can see here it is accepting enter file name which you want to create. Suppose I just want to create that file, that is or suppose VHAN. Okay, this is a file name which I want to just create. So this has been created, and if I just list out this, you can see here this VHAN file has been created over here. You can see here VHAN. It means like Pico and something or touch. So we have just created that file with the shell script. Getting my point? Or sorry, again like ABC. So this again ABC file been created, right? You can see here ABC and all. This VHAN previously created and this ABC. Now we'll see how to create a folder. Enter folder name which you want to create, and suppose here folder name, right? Folder name, right? And to create a folder, we need this command mkdir. Save, and if I run this, suppose I just wanted to create that folder name, that is a COEP. Okay. Oh, what it is saying? Missing operand. 1 minute. Let me see what happened here. This one, I think this was the mistake over here, right? COEP. So you can see here, if I list out, so this COEP folder has been created here, right? So it means in this way we can create that folder, or suppose you want to read something, so that also we can read it using that cat command, right? So I think you just know this one. Or suppose you want to see 1 minute, and one more, the ways here. Suppose you want to say any command like you want to suppose remove any file. So how do I do this? So simply here I can say rm. Rm is what? It is to remove that file. Ready? So simply here suppose file enter name which you want to delete, right? If you see here, if I run this, now see, I think we have that ABC is a file, COIP is a folder, and that sample, and these are the files, right? So I'll just try to remove this ABC, right? ABC, and if I just list out, can see here that ABC is not over here. Or suppose again, just I want to remove suppose this VHAN. So how do I? Again, simply run this and say VHAN. This will be deleted. And if I list out, so VHAN is not there. You can see here simply this. In same way, you can remove that folder also, right? So how I can remove that folder? If you see rmdir, that is used to remove the directory, and if I run this, first I'll just list out. This COEP is the only one folder into this, so I can run here for COEP, and if I list out, so COEP is not here. Getting this? I think you might understood this. Other commands are also there if you want to read something, or if you want to read the word count from that file or something, so that you can use it. So different commands are there. Only I just wanted to tell you how to write the script for the different commands. So I'm not using here any loop or any if else statement or anything. Simply I have just taken the whatever the existing commands are there, and for these command I have tried to write the simple script. Right? Have understood this? And once we understand that the decision statements and loops and something, then we can write this some complex scripts also. But at least here you need to understand how to write that script over here. We can write that same commands on this command prompt or on this terminal, or in similar way we can write or we can combine the some commands into the file, and we can run all these commands at a time, right? So in this way we can write a script. So just I wanted to tell you this, so how to write the script and what is the use of this one, right? So in last lecture, I think I just told you simple commands. Today, I just told you the two commands, that is read and echo. So using this read and echo, how to accept that the input for that respective command from the user. Like suppose you want to create a file, so you need to accept the name of the file which you want to create from the user, and we can create that respective file. Or same thing for the folder also. Getting this? So in similar way, we can display whatever are the files are there into this the current folder, or whatever folders are there into that current folder. So that also we can display. So what you try in coming week, try to write a script to display uh, the folders and files in the current folder, right? So I'll just tell you when I just in the next lecture I'll take if else statements or something, so that you will understand that again in well. Okay, so I've understood this. Yes, any doubt here, because this is a very simple one, right? So in the next lecture I'll just tell you the some the decision statements, right? Because that need some the longer time. So in 1 hour I can try to finish these the decision statements, and I'll take some example on that. Okay, so I think it's over. If you are having any doubt, you can ask me, please.